Hi guys, Miss Main here with today's story. I am Rosa Parks. A couple of days ago we talked about Martin Luther King and all the good that he did, and in that read aloud we heard a little bit about Rosa Parks. So today I'm elaborating on this with a book on I Am Rosa Parks. Quiz number 169139, and it's a 3.1. This is a non-fiction book, so it means it's full of true facts. Growing up, I was small for my age. I was sick a lot too, since we didn't have money for a doctor, but that did not mean that I was weak. So this is her younger brother that you can see is taller than her. I'm not that short. Looks like you are, because here's Rosa, here's the younger brother, and then here's most kids. So she was short for her age. When I was 11, as I was walking home from school, a boy on roller skates came zipping by and shoved me. He thought I would be an easy target. So there he is, shove. To his surprise, I turned around and pushed him back. I knew fighting was wrong, but I didn't want him picking on me again. Push. His mother saw what happened. She was mad that I had pushed him. Uh-oh, this is gonna be bad. Did you push my son? But you know what made her even madder? I was black, and her son was white. She immediately started yelling, "I'll have you put in jail! You'll never get out again!" No question, it was scary. But my mother and grandfather taught me to respect myself and to expect respect from others. So instead of backing down, I stood my ground, and calmly but firmly I explained. Your son was the one who pushed me. I didn't bother him at all. I wasn't just standing up to that mom or even the boy on roller skates. I was standing up for myself. After that, the boy and his mom never bothered me again. Still, it's hard to change things. Sometimes it can take a long time. Back then, if you were black, you were treated unfairly just because the color of your skin. You weren't allowed to live in the same neighborhood as a white person, eat in the same restaurant, ride the same elevator, or use the same bathroom. You couldn't even drink from the same water fountain. One was marked for whites, the other for colored. When I was little, I used to wonder if white water tasted different from colored water. I even wondered if colored water came out in lots of colors. See the water like the rainbow? But it didn't. The only difference was I had to walk outside or even down the block to get mine. Of course, it wasn't just about water fountains. This was my school, a small old wooden building with one room and one teacher for all of us. Everyone from 5 years old to the 6th grade were all stuffed in that one room. There were no windows, desks, and barely any books. Since most kids had to work on a farm to earn money, we only went to school 5 months during the year. Less school, hooray! Don't say hooray, that's bad. We also brought our books home every night. Why? Because we were worried that folks who hated the color of our skin would burn our school down. Now here's the school for kids who were white. Notice the difference? It was a new brick building with beautiful windows, new desks, and plenty of books, plus a playground. They went to school 9 months out of the year, since they weren't working in the fields like we were. Now, can we say hooray? No, there's no hooray about this. Also, if you were black, you had to walk to school. If you were white, you got to take a bus. The worst part was, when I would walk home with my brother, the kids on the bus would throw trash at us. It made me feel horrible, but there were no civil rights back then. The only solution was to move off the road. And really, what kind of solution is that? As I got older, things didn't change much. There's no room in here, lady. One winter, I was waiting for the local city bus. If you were black, you had to ride in the back. If you were white, you rode up front. On that day, the back of the bus was packed. But there was plenty of seats in the front. I was just trying to find a place to sit. But as I entered through the front of the bus, dun dun dun. What do you think you're doing? You need to get off and use the back door. Only whites can come up front. But I'm already in. I tried to explain that there was no room to get in through the back. The driver didn't care. He wanted me off the bus. He grabbed me by my coat sleeve. I dropped my purse near the front door. To pick it up, I sat in the front seat, a white seat. It made the driver madder than ever. That's it! Get out! Get off my bus! That's what he called it, my bus. As if it were his. The bus wasn't his, though it belonged to all of us. Still, that afternoon, the driver got his way. He kicked me off. See you soon. Yes, you will. But I promise you, that wasn't the last time I'd face that bus driver. So she's sitting here with somebody who looks like kind of an important. Tell me what happened next. From there, in addition to working as a seamstress, I started working to change things. At the NAACP, we fought for fairer laws and made sure that people's stories were heard. I also stopped using colored water fountains. I'd rather go thirsty than be treated so poorly. It was the same with separate elevators. Instead of riding them, I would take the stairs. But as for real change, even I didn't know what was coming. It was the end of a busy Thursday. I was 42 years old and on the bus going home. This time I was sitting in the first row of seats that were allowed for black people. There was one man next to me and two women across from me. It was the same driver from before, the exact same one from all those years earlier. At the third stop, a few white people got on, filling in the rest of the empty seats. There was one white person left standing, so the driver told those of us in my row, "Let me have those front seats." At first, none of us moved, but when he asked again, the other three people got up. I stayed right where I was. "Y'all better make it light on yourselves and let me have these seats." Sliding over to the window, I thought about what he was demanding. He wanted to take my seat away. He wanted to give it to that man. And why? Come on, get up. Because I was black and the man was white. I knew what the rules said, but I also knew in my heart that's not how you treat people. Without a doubt, the driver was mad, but I never lost my cool. I never raised my voice. Are you gonna get up? No. People say that the reason I refused to give up my seat was because I was tired. And I was, but it wasn't that kind of tired that came from aching feet. The only tired I was tired of giving in. Well, I'm going to get you arrested. You may go on and do so. Before me, there were other brave women who had refused to give up their seats. Still, on that day, for violating the rules of Montgomery, Alabama, I got arrested. But by standing up for myself, I ignited a movement. From there, the Montgomery bus boycott began. For 381 days, that's well over a year, all blacks in the city, and even a few whites, refused to ride the public bus. But if you don't ride the buses, we'll go out of business. Then maybe you should think about changing your rules. Finally, the rules were changed. Public buses were no longer allowed to separate people based on the color of their skin. That was only the beginning. Eventually, we were allowed to drink from the same water fountains, ride the same elevators, and yes, go to the same schools. In the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson wrote that we're all created equal. Finally, the nation was starting to act like it. Now can we say, hooray? Soon. We're close. Of course, that didn't mean that the fight was over. There were thousands of people just like that bus driver. But after hearing how I didn't give up my seat, there were now thousands more people just like me, together, inspired, and committed to justice. My name's Martin. Want to hear a rough draft of my speech? You bet I do. You know who Martin is? Martin Luther King. In my life, people tried to knock me down, tried to make me feel less than I was. They teased me for being small, being black, being different. Let me be clear. No one should be able to do that. But if they try, you must stand strong. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for yourself, even if it means sitting down. When you do, others will follow. What's that medal? It's the Congressional Gold Medal, one of the government's highest honors. George Washington got one too. Cool. Now can I say hooray? Go for it. Hooray! So she got a gold medal for standing up for herself, making changes. I am Rosa Parks. I am not a politician, or a president, or an actor, or a famous business owner. I am just an ordinary person, but I'm also proof that there is no such thing as an ordinary person. I hope you will always stand up for yourself, and I hope you'll remember that we are all in this together. And there's some pictures of her for real, the real Rosa Parks. The only tired I was tired of giving in. Rosa Parks. So I hope you enjoyed that story. Please listen to it a couple of times if you want to take the AR quiz. See you tomorrow for tomorrow's story. Bye, guys.